Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have had a great week, and I hope you will have a great week ahead. For those of you who are watching me in the future, hello. Who are watching the replay, glad to have you. Let's see, who do we have? Who do we have on board? I just need to stop playing around with YouTube's schedule a stream, because every time I do this, it does not quite work out. It does not quite work out. So I've got 4 people waiting in the queue and nothing. Nothing. Nothing is happening here. So I'm hoping that those 4 folks will come on over, because we're live. We are live, and looks like 3 are waiting now. Let me message folks. Hold on, you guys. This is yeah, this is wild. Every single time this happens. Last week I didn't do this. This week I was like, let me go ahead and try. Nope. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Hey Eleanor, good morning. How are you? I hope all is well. Who else is joining? Come on in, you guys. What questions do you guys have? This is the Ask Me Anything YouTube live stream about moving abroad. What questions do you have? What would you like to know about moving abroad? What would you like to know about traveling abroad? Eleanor, I'm only seeing you on my iPhone. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I can see you. Let's see. I see you. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I apologize. D, I have not been to any parts of Africa yet. That is on my list. I am planning a trip to South Africa with my daughter. Hopefully my daughters, right? My daughters and maybe my son in August or September. That is like one of my next trips. I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. I was supposed to slide over to Morocco in March. And I know Morocco is, it still technically is Africa. A lot of people tend to think of like West Africa, but that trip did not happen. That was supposed to happen in March, got delayed. I was supposed to go in November, that got delayed. So Africa is definitely will be happening very soon. So I'm interested in South Africa for sure, like Cape Town, Johannesburg. And then I'm also looking at like Senegal, Ghana, and Angola. I dance Kizomba, and Kizomba originates in Angola. And so there are a number of like Kizomba themed festivals and things like that. So I need to slide over to Africa really, really soon. It is much easier where I am here in Paris, because it seems like for the most part, if you are flying from the US, like they basically you'll do a layover either in Paris or perhaps London. So yeah, it'll be easier coming from here. Yes, I am definitely looking forward to it. Listen, I'm ready to have the giraffes joining me eating breakfast or brunch, right? You know how you see those pictures and the people are eating and the giraffes are by the terrace or whatever you call it. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Hoping that'll happen very soon. I might end up going to Morocco before South Africa. It just depends. I got my flight credit, so I might slide on over. From Paris, it's like a 3-hour flight. Less than that. It's a really, really cheap flight. Am I from Tennessee? Nanine, am I from Tennessee? No, I'm originally from Detroit. But originally from Detroit, lived in Atlanta for a very long time. So wasn't very far from Tennessee. But yeah, D, I am looking forward to going to South Africa. I definitely want to do like Tanzania, Kenya, all of that. Like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I was talking to my daughter about it the other day about, come on now, we need to go ahead and book these tickets. We need to book the flight. So we're going to make that happen. That is my like my 50th birthday trip. It'll be a little bit earlier than my birthday. I don't need to wait until my birthday to celebrate, right? So we are doing it as soon as we possibly can. My youngest daughter is in grad school, so she's looking at her schedule, right? Um, my other daughter and my son, hopefully they can go too, but what I told them is that, look, the one person I know who's going is me. So y'all figure out how y'all want to do it. Goddess Belle de jour. Yes, I am living in France. I am in Paris. Yes, I am in Paris. But yeah, like I said, the only person who has to be on that trip is me, the soon to be birthday girl. I will be going on the trip, right? I will be going. So I'm trying to let them figure out their schedules. You know, the young adults, they're working, they're in school, doing all kind of things. My one daughter travels for work. My son is getting ready to travel for work. So I'm not really sure what their schedules are going to look like, but I know that I'm going to be there. Okay, whether I have to go by myself, it does not matter. I will be there. So, D, will I move back to America? You know what? For me, I'm never going to say never. I'll never move back. What I will say is that I like to live a bicontinental lifestyle, right? I'm bicontinental. That means I want to be able to go back and forth when I want to. Oh, God, it's Bell. Oh, Seeking Friends. Okay. Oh, congratulations. 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 Let us know how that process works for you through your ancestry. Congratulations to you. I hope it goes well. Now, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Is it Nanine, or I'm sorry, I don't mean to butcher your name. Um, I am working on my French. I am working on it. It is a process. I need to be further along. Folks who follow me on this channel know that, yeah, my French is not that good. But I am working on it. So they made some changes to the visa program, right? My goal is to get my 5-year visa. And so in order for me to get that, I need to be, I think, at B1 level. So yeah, I need to get that done pretty quickly in terms of beginning that process, because there is a test involved. So I've been doing the annual visa. So I applied for my 3rd year in August. At the end of August, it will be my 3rd visa. So my 3rd 1-year visa. So yep. So I need to get those classes. I had some classes, I was taking them last summer that did not work. I was traveling too much. Oh my goodness, Goddess Bell. Listen, the conjugation, so much, so much. And I try to translate things in my mind, and it never works out. Like you go from English to French, and I always feel a little slow because people will say stuff and I will understand it, but it take me like a second or two to kind of get it, right? Like my brain is working. Thank you for that compliment about my earrings. Thank you. Um yeah, that's the problem I think I'm having, because it's not a one-to-one, right? English to French is the French is so many more extra words. Hey Tanya, hey girl. It's so many more extra words every single time, but I'm slowly getting there. Like I'm able to understand more. I can't really, still not able to respond well, but they have been making announcements over the metro and I have been able to understand them in French. So for me, that is an accomplishment. I celebrate the small and the big accomplishments, right? Definitely. So yeah, I need to get a tutor. I need some individual instruction. I need something. But I definitely need to do some more dedicated time, like every day. That's been my challenge and my issue. So I have to buckle down, memorize and breathe. Yes, I watch TV. I try to read what is it, the Le Monde, the newspaper, the news, all of that, all of that. Yeah. So thank you, Tanya. Yes, little small victories, right? Small victories. So yeah, I'm able to understand a little bit more, thankfully. Now, when I'm able to actually respond, that'll be when I know that, like, I got it. Like, I got it, I got it. But I'm not there yet, but you know, it's a process. I don't know, it's just taking my brain longer to kind of wrap things around. You know what, Goddess Bill, I definitely have to do those free classes. Yeah, because the one class that I did take and just kind of wasted my money, but it was again my fault, was like a 200 euro. It was like 200 euro. And it met once a week on Saturdays. They don't offer any kind, did not offer any kind of replacement. You miss a class, you miss a class. So I think I need to kind of look at some other options, whether it is online or whether it is maybe just individual tutor or something. So yeah, I'm looking. Free sounds good. Free is definitely good. So I need to get that, check into that for sure. Check into my local library and see kind of what I can kind of get into. So, all right, you guys, what other questions do you guys have? What questions do you have? Hey, is it Dabari? Hey, Dabari. Hi. Thank you for joining. I see some new people here. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. What are we going to talk about today? Speaking of Metro, I had my first incident yesterday, and it actually wasn't my incident, right? It was, I was in front of a lady, and apparently pickpocketers were on the train less than 10 feet away from me. D is asking, how did I decide to move there? I have been traveling here since 2017. 2017 was my first trip here, had always wanted to visit. Got a chance to make my first solo international trip here, and I have been coming back ever since. That's kind of how I decided to move here. By 2018, I was like, yeah, I want to come. I want to live here. Then the pandemic happened and could not come, right? I didn't do any traveling here in 2019 or no travel in 2019. By 2020, the pandemic was here and they were not letting us come. So I made the decision in what year? I came as soon as we were able to come back. U.S. citizens. I came back in 2021 and just came back so many times, and then by the next year I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. Spent the summer of 2022 here, a month here, in the summer of 2022 to test things out, and that was it. That was all I needed. Hey, Melinda, how are you? Good morning. You guys, make sure you check out Melinda. Melinda, please put your thrift magazine in the chat if you don't mind. Melinda has a great thrifting publication, online thrifting magazine, Facebook group. She is about all the thrift finds in her group. Great group. I love thrifting. So, Melinda, if you would mind, put your group in the chat and so folks can follow you. Tanya, yeah, don't keep nothing in your pockets. Well, the thing about the lady is that, and I felt bad for her because she had her luggage. She was clearly going to the airport, and it was so bad she was shaking because apparently the people were right in front of her. And what she said was that I guess she was at the airport or something, and they were trying to follow her, and then she tried to tell the police. Of course, she didn't speak English. I mean, she didn't speak French, and this was an Asian woman, and so she didn't speak French. And then I guess she ran back into them again, and one of them had their hands in her purse. So she basically left. But yesterday they made several announcements that pickpocketers were on the train. They even had a guy that came on the train from the train people. I forget the RATP, and it was like pickpocketers were on Rare B, which is the airport. Um, and they were on line 9 and line 1. Those are popular lines for pickpocketers, right? Because line 1 is like the Louvre or whatever, a lot of your tourist spots. Rare B or RER, whatever you want to call it, that is the high speed rail to go to the airport. That's a popular one too. Because you think about it, you got your luggage, you're not focusing, you're trying to get to your plane. Okay. So she checked her purse. Luckily, she did not, nothing happened. But she was so upset. She was literally shaking. She was shaking. So I felt really, really bad. And it was, young people. So you got to be careful. Young folks are the ones who are doing it. Remember, y'all, they always work in teams. I'm going to do a video about it. But like Tanya said, don't keep anything in your pockets, and also keep your hand on your bag, because what she said was this one lady tried to bumped her at the airport. The one lady bumped her, and then there was another lady who reached her hand in her bag that quick. It happens that quick, and they always work in pairs, 2 or 3 people. So always remember that. Goddess is asking, what was the first visa I went there on? I'm on the no work visa. The what do they call it? The long stay visa. That's the one that I'm on. Absolutely get loud and they move on to the next person. That's exactly what they did. And Eleanor, you are so right. You cannot let your guard down. And so it's bad because yesterday was like a really nice day here in Paris, right? People were out and about and they just kept on making so many announcements. It got so bad that I was like, should I go home? Because I would go home. Home meaning I would go to my house here in Paris, right? Like I will leave. Like, I'm gone. Because I'm the type that when it's summertime, that's when they're really out. It's easier because you have less clothing on, your stuff is out, right? But I'm the type that I'll put my wallet in my bra in a minute. Like, come on, if you gonna take if you listen, if you gonna take that, come on, let's go, let's do it, let's do it. Yes, children working in groups. That is exactly what she said. These were kids. They were kids working together. So, yeah, you have to get loud, draw attention to yourself, all of that. Like you can't, because what she said was they had big bags, but nothing in them. So when you see people with big bags and they don't have nothing in them, that is a sign. They trying to get your stuff. Okay. Tanya, I am not even playing. I am not playing for real. Like you listen, I'm not playing. You gonna have to move some things around when you trying to get my wallet. Like, yeah. Mm-mm. Nope, 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 nope. But yeah, I mean, the other solution is to get one of those bags off Amazon or whatever that you can't really cut through and that are thought to be anti-theft. I don't know. I just know that I'm not trying to lose a phone. I'm definitely not trying to lose wallets because that, you know, cards being replaced, the hassle, all of that. Okay, so Goddess wants to know, how does that work for taxes on the no work visa? So actually, I'm a little bit behind on my taxes, so I have to declare my 2023, and I needed to file an extension for my 2024. Okay, so a little bit behind on that, but for my U.S. taxes are filed, but it's just the French taxes, which I just basically have to do the declaration of income. I don't expect to owe anything. It'll just be the declaration of income. Excuse me 1 second. Bonjour Des, hey, how are you? So yeah, I think how it works is that you basically have to declare your income. Coming from the US and France have this agreement, right? And from the US, you have to, I'm not sure if you're from the US or not, but if you are, you have to declare your income no matter where you are in the world, right? The US is like, you need to declare that. So whatever income you make, you must declare it. And which is, what's going to happen with me. And basically, I just need to, especially to get my 5-year residency, I have to make sure that all my years are filed with the French government. Now, I may owe a penalty, so I need to just go ahead and take care of that. But, yep. So yeah, Goddess is saying she would get aggressive with them, especially in Rome. Oh my goodness, will bum rush you. See, that's the thing that gets me about going to Rome in certain places, because There's this lady, I don't know if you've seen her. She goes around and she blasts the pickpocketers. And she's like, pickpocket, pickpocket, and she yells. And she's all on TikTok. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not, yeah, yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem for me. So Spain is Barcelona is bad. Rome is bad. Uh Paris is probably, those are probably the top three spots. But yeah, they are not, that's no fun. No fun at all. I'm not trying to get involved in that. But yeah, it made me definitely a bit cautious. It made me, because they made, when I tell you, they made so many announcements that these pickpocketers were on the train. So God is, I keep saying that the carte Vital list, I'm so behind on that. I'm behind on my French paperwork. So I make sure my visa is good, and I just, everything else has kind of fallen by the wayside. So I do have to apply for the carte Vital. I've just been kind of paying out of pocket. I go see a doctor like every, I don't, like every 4 to 6 months. I have thyroid issues, so I just need to check my levels every so often, and I just kind of pay out of pocket for that. But yeah, I definitely need to get that carte Vital. The carte Vital, for those of you who are watching, is a French health insurance, and to come over, you have to have a like private form of insurance. It costs anywhere from like 700 to about €1,000 as part of your visa application. So the problem I'm having is that it takes so long and I haven't filed. So now I'm going to have to pay like $700 again for private healthcare insurance, because I need that insurance in order to have my visa. Right. So, but it's my fault. So, oh, your mother is from Martinique. Okay. Okay. Love it. Okay. Tons of people from Martinique here. I'm sure you already know. I dance compa here and kizomba, so I meet people from Martinique all the time. So what is it called? Martiniquais? I hope I'm not pronouncing that wrong, but yes, you should definitely use your ancestry. That'll be great for you. Congratulations again. Listen, use every advantage that you have. Every advantage. Every single advantage. But yeah, so that's kind of what went on the train yesterday. My train adventures. Again, I'm going to do a longer form video about that, because there are tons of people who are coming here for the Olympics. And y'all, like, the pickpocketers are waiting. They waiting and ready. They know tourists are here. What do tourists have? They have money. They have things, right? So they waiting for people to slip up. So I will be doing a video soon about that, about, train safety, because you do have to definitely keep your wits about you. The train was so crowded yesterday too. That's when they love to strike, when it's crowded. So just remember, for you guys who are coming for the Olympics, I've got a bunch of friends who were coming into town. Eleanor, you're right. It is costing me. You're right. And it definitely is costing me. I need to get it together, because right now I talked to my attorney the other week, and so I am applying for that third year visa at the end of August. There's no way possible it'll come back in enough time. So I need to just get it together, do it now, and knowing that for my fourth year, I will be okay. But yeah, so I am officially, you are not a part of the French healthcare system until you get that carte Vital. And the thing is, from what I'm hearing, they give you like 20% back of your estimated costs. Thank God I don't have any major medical issues or anything going on. So I just have to pay. The doctor that I go to is an English speaking doctor. She charges €100. I could get it even cheaper, honestly. I can get it for like 40 if I were just to go to a regular physician. A specialist is about €70. So my healthcare costs are a fraction of what they used to be in the US. That's another reason why I have been procrastinating, to be honest with you, because I'm not going to the doctor for anything. My prescription is about $20 for like 17 € for 3 months. And that's just a thyroid med that I take every day. Bonjour, Janelle. So yeah, I don't have a lot of costs, just my physical and, yearly physical and all that, which isn't out of pocket, is not that much. It is in the US it's unaffordable to not have insurance. But here it's not as, I mean, I have insurance, but I'm not on the French healthcare plan. You're right, Goddess. I mean, that's the thing. I try to keep that in perspective. If a wallet or something is taken, only thing I have to worry about is getting new identification, new cards or whatever, or losing money or a phone. It is not something that is going to cost me my life. That puts things so much into perspective. So much into perspective. So, it's just an inconvenience is pretty much it. So but it is not the end of the world. But I still like to tell people who are visiting though, because I know people who, they've been visiting and they've gotten their money stolen, wallet stolen, passport, or maybe their purse or whatever with their passport in it. It's like, don't carry that passport around. You do not, it's stressful if you're coming on a trip because nobody wants to go on a vacation and get robbed, right? Nobody wants to go on vacation and get robbed. So I always caution people to be really careful. I am hoping 100% reimbursement. I have my receipts. I do have my receipts. So I think I have spent altogether like maybe less than 400 € because I've spent 100 for the appointment. I spent like 160 for blood work. That's what, 250, 260. What else? I spent probably with medication close to like $50 or so, 30, $40, not much. So yeah, it's not a lot at all. So let's just say under 300. Des, let me tell you something. Yes, I know. I cannot wait for you to come over. I cannot wait for you to come over. You're going to see it is so much cheaper. So just, and again, part of the reason why I have procrastinated so much is because I'm not paying a lot. I'm not. And if I were to go to the public hospital, it would be 25 € to go to the public hospitals, 25 €. Um, oh wow. In Italy probably pay $5 for a 3 month prescription. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I think I'm almost sure my prescription was like 17 € for 3 months. Wow. Wow. So are you in St. Louis? Where are you? You said you're from Missouri? You're in the murder capital. What is the murder capital of the US right now? Um, but yeah, so it's so much cheaper, but I need to get it together and apply and do what I need to do to get that done. So, what other questions do you guys have? What other questions do you have? Thank you for joining me on a Sunday morning. I appreciate your time, or I guess afternoon now, right? I appreciate your time. Yeah, Goddess. Yeah, definitely don't. Leave that passport in the hotel or wherever you are staying. You do not need to take it with you for the most part. If you have to have it, take a picture of it, right? Do not walk around with it because you do not want to have to go to the embassy, get a passport, all that good stuff. And speaking of passport, I got my passport last week. I had to get my passport renewed, my 10-year, renewal. And they had been warning us, the embassy had been warning us that we needed to do it before the Olympics. My passport expired in October. And so what many countries do is if you don't have 6 months on your passport, you are not going. You are not getting in. And I took a quick trip to Istanbul, Turkey. I got back on what day? Thursday? I got back on Thursday night. And so that they're one of those countries to where I could use my French resident permit. But I also use the passport, and I mean, they stamped it. They asked for both. So it's a good thing that I had it. You know, it took me exactly 2 weeks for it to get ready. I was so happy it was ready early. Eleanor, I'm going to do a video about the passport renewal process, but how it worked quickly is that I had to go to the embassy. I had to make an appointment first of all. Make an appointment online, went to the embassy. It took less than 2 hours for me to go for my original appointment. I had to get a passport photo. They had the passport photo in the embassy office, right? And I had to pay 130 euro. I'm sorry, 130 USD. And it took them exactly 2 weeks. It Thursday night, I went a third 2 weeks before. On Thursday night, Wednesday night, I got an email that my passport was ready. So less than 2 weeks actually. So yeah, it was really, really quick. But again, they were telling us that, but with the Olympics in town, that we did not want to wait. So I was really happy with the time it took. It took exactly 2 weeks. I was hearing anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. So it took less time. I had to go back and pick mine up. You have the option to have them mail it to you. I'm glad I did not choose that option because I literally went to Istanbul that next day. So it was fairly simple and convenient. It was easier for me to do it here than to go back home and do it. But I was definitely worried about that process. But stay tuned to the video, you guys, because you just don't know, when you're abroad, like what the situation may be. So it was really easy, efficient. Goddess, I'm in the 16th arrondissement for now. For now, I'm in the 16th. I am looking perhaps. I'm looking to move to a different area. Des, are all documents in French and English, other languages? One of the things I will say is that, yeah, all your stuff must be submitted in French, right? So you can either hire a translator. The attorney that I have has one on staff. I have to pay an additional translation fee for her. So she translates all the documents. Now, my first year, I don't know. That's when they collect everything. They get your paycheck stubs, bank statements. If you're working, you'll get like you have to have a work letter, like not really a salary letter, but just a work letter. And all of that stuff, I'm assuming, has to be in French. And the actual application, he handled that for the price. But I know the subsequent renewal, for example, I had to give them my bank statements. Those had to be translated because I have a French bank, but the majority of my money is held in my US bank. So that had to be translated. Everything had to be translated to French, right? So what you can always do is hire a certified translation specialist if you're doing your visa on your own, or if you hire an attorney, they'll handle that for you, and you'll just pay an additional if you need to. Again, that first year, I don't remember paying anything for a translate. I don't know if he translated all the documents. I don't remember, but I know this time around, I definitely paid to have my statements translated in French, from English to French. And I also, what else did I do? Yeah, I definitely paid money for that. Goddess, is it worth it to have it expedited same day? You're saying for the passport? For the passport, it was, you had an option either to have a self-addressed stamped envelope with your application and they would mail it back, or you can go back and pick it up. And I chose to pick mine up. Eleanor, moving to a different area. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, to be honest with you. This area is great for families and things, but it is not, it is just, if I could find a place a little bit cheaper, honestly, and maybe a little bit cheaper, bigger, I would totally go for it. I am going to be, looking at the particular arrondissement, but for right now, I am staying. I am locked. I'm not locked in. I have a 30-day out. So I am locked in. I renewed my lease here until September of 2025. So I'm here until then, officially. So if I want to move, I just give him a 30-day notice. And he can do the same with me. And that's one of the great things I love about, just man, the contracts here and rentals, they can't go up on you crazy amounts, not if you're an existing tenant. So, yeah, Des, yeah, you may want to have to hire somebody. I totally recommend my particular attorney. And I can share that information with you if you like. Yeah, and Goddess is saying be careful about hiring an independent translator. Yeah, you're right. You do have to be careful because they may not be certified. And that's the thing about working with my attorney. He's working with the certified one, and she sent me the documents and all that. So that's the thing. The attorney is going to know. Yeah, the attorney's going to know. Yeah, they save you so much hassle. Sometimes I know a lot of people are like, I can do it myself, and you can, but when it comes to not knowing the language, when it comes to knowing French culture, I have everything I've had this man work on, I have gotten done quicker than what he said, meaning he has delivered them quicker than what he promised. And I feel like it's like anything else. Think about it. If you are the person who was looking over the visa applications, and this attorney that you've worked with, all of his applications are going to be very thorough. You're just going to hit rubber stamp on that application, like, okay, pass, approved. You're going to scan it over, look it over. But as opposed to you coming in, Jane Schmo, Joe Schmo, whatever you want to call it, right? They're going to look at that with a fine tooth comb. Yes, it is Zlokazov. Yes, that is his name. That is the attorney. Highly recommend him. And I got really good news from him because he told me a couple weeks ago that the income that I'm earning now is fine. I've got some temporary income, and but the French government doesn't really, they're in terms of, they're looking at it like, what do you have coming into your account? So I've got some rental income, some temporary income, and it'll be fine. I'll more than qualify for my visa based upon what I told him that I'm earning. It'll be fine. I was worried about that because, you know, yeah, I was worried, but it's good. All excuse me, all good. Um yeah, goddess, you don't have to worry about being in a queue. So I had a slight issue with the prefecture sent my email that my visa was ready, right? That it was ready. Okay, so then you have to make an appointment. I could not make an appointment online. Like I tried all different times. It would not let me book an appointment. And what ended up happening is that I emailed my attorney like, "Hey, what's going on? Because I can't make an appointment." And he was like, "Okay, just email them back." I emailed them back, and them folks got back with me in like a week and were like, "Here is your appointment time." And I went and picked up my visa. But I know I'm in so many different groups, y'all. I promise you, so many different groups, and people have had so many issues. They'll have issues with their pass with their visas being ready. They can't get an appointment. They don't know what to do. They don't hear back from the prefecture. It is, oh my goodness, it's a lot. So for me, this is money well spent. It's money well spent because like you said, you don't have to worry about being in a queue, right? I don't know what they do. I'm not even going to ask no questions. Like however you do it is how you do it. But thank you. So yeah. Um Goddess, relocation agencies. Okay, they can help with everything from tax accounting, legal, and translation. I will say with those, just be careful. A lot of people I've heard use those relocation agencies. They charge quite a bit of money. Anywhere from like 2 to 3 to 5,000 can be quite a bit. For me, I like going through my attorney. Now, he does, if you need help like with an apartment or other things, he does provide additional services, right? He provides services like for getting a bank account. He provides it with the carte vitale. The carte vitale is eight, I think he charges like 800 for that. And I'm not sure how much he charges for the bank account because I got my own. I was going to hire him for the carte vitale, but basically now it's still too late. So just be careful with the relocation. Just do your due diligence. You should be fine. But the thing about it is with the tax accounting, I've heard people say that they've been overcharged by French accountants. I don't know. It's not difficult from what I'm being told. It's basically just filing, but people do upcharge you a whole lot of money. Whole lot. Yeah, it definitely thinks. I mean, it's so much paperwork and red tape here. It really is. And people love to say no. They'll tell you no first before they'll give you a yes. So, yeah, it just like I said, it depends on you, what you want to do, and your peace of mind. Just make sure you check out that relocation because the feedback that I have been hearing from some is that they're overpriced or some don't deliver. So just make sure you check it out. But I definitely understand. Having somebody kind of help you is priceless. There are some people also who offer it as a service, like just regular individuals, because they know how difficult, it can be. And sometimes you need a French speaking person to be able to kind of navigate. I don't know if you speak French or not, but yeah, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. So I am looking forward to, my third year visa. And so my plan is to get that 5 year. So that'll kind of give me the flexibility I need. One of the things my attorney did say is that, because I did ask about, okay, there's a possibility I may have to return to the US at least for a little bit. And that's how I posed it to him. And so he was like, well, they're fine with small trips in other countries, going other places, but they really don't want you out of the country for more than a year. I mean, I'm sorry, more than 1 month if you are trying to get your 5 year visa. So yeah, it's you know, there are pros and cons with everything. And so um apparently that goes into the consideration when you are getting your 5 year visa. But for me, getting that 5 year visa will mean that I'm set for 5 years. I can go back and forth as much as I'm assuming as much as I want. I'm assuming that I won't have any issues, and then it's on to the 10 year if that's the case, right? Once you get the 5, then you can get the 10. Now there may be an issue of perhaps they don't want you out of the country for whatever. I don't know. I will have to find that out. I'll have to ask. I'll kind of get to that bridge when I get there. So I'm assuming if they don't want you out of the country for 1 month with a 1 year visa, maybe there are some similar things with the a 5 year. I have to ask. But yeah, it'll offer me that, like I said, that bicontinental lifestyle. 5 years is just an amazing thing to have, right? So some people do want to apply for citizenship. Um, and I get it. It depends on your particular situation. They cannot put you out, right? If you are a citizen, they cannot put you out. So I get it. Um, Eleanor, yeah, there is unofficially there is a limitation in terms of I can pretty much go anywhere, but the challenge becomes if I am renewing annually, not a huge issue, but my attorney did say they technically don't really want you out of the country for more than 30 days at a time, especially if I'm getting that 5 year visa. Is it just an online application got to spell? Oh my goodness. I thought it was like a visit. Okay, I need to get it together. There's someone that I need to ask that did theirs. So I need to contact her today and ask her. She's living in Paris, American expat, her and her husband. I need to ask her today. So I will do that. Yes, please use your relatives. Absolutely. And listen, I wish I had somebody in terms of a relative. It is so much easier. So much easier. It is definitely easier. Like, one of the things my partner helped me out a lot with in terms of using him, so I didn't have to, in terms of the address, I already had that because I used his address. He had to attest that I would be living with him, had to, send his identification, all of his stuff, send a letter, all that good stuff. So yeah, if you can use your relatives, if you can use someone, definitely, definitely. But going back to what you were asking, Eleanor, there are no limitations as far as I am aware. Um, there are no limitations as far as I'm aware. And it also allows you, that French resident permit allows you access into all the Schengen countries. I think there are 26 of them. So Italy, Amsterdam, Germany, all those types of countries, you're able to travel to without getting your passport stamped. It is so, just like how we in the US, we will go to, you'll fly within the US without getting a passport stamp. It is considered the same with these European countries, right, that are within the EU. So I will listen. Oh, they do, goddess. I need to, yeah. Let me call social services. Let me ask and find out, because I could be missing out on stuff. They do make exception for family hardship. Okay, listen, I didn't know that. I'm finding out so many things. Like, I did not know that if you lost your job, you get a lower price, like eating out, like at certain places, like museums give you, if you're getting social benefits, if you've lost your job, you get free admission. I need to check into that, because I usually go during the free stuff once a month on the first Sundays of the month, but I need to check into all these things. I don't know if it's just a French employer, which I don't have, but yeah, I definitely, there are so many safety nets that kind of come here. And again, it comes with having a French employer. That's a big difference, but there are definitely safety nets that we do not have in the US. So, you know, that's one of the things people complain about, taxes here. I get it. But I can say their taxes do help for certain things that they need. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I definitely will check into that. Thank you for that advice. I will definitely check into it. But yeah, please use all the resources that you have. Use all of them. If you've got friends, family, rely on them if you can, right? Because it'll help you out with this process. It will definitely help you out. I mean, that's what I did. It was an invaluable help, because I didn't have to worry about accommodation. Yeah, the initial requirement. Eleanor, what I was told is that they'll also use they'll also use Airbnb potentially. I didn't really get into that a whole lot because that wasn't my situation, but I believe my attorney said at one point they would do an Airbnb initially. Now, things have changed beginning in, like, this past March. They made a lot of changes, but from what I understand, and there's also a site that, believe it or not, you can go on and you can do almost like a quote unquote fake Airbnb reservation. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. And I'm not suggesting that I'm just saying, look into it. I'm not saying to use it, but look into it, right? If you need like official paperwork that you have a reservation, because they aren't going to necessarily, um they aren't going to look into it that way, but they will send. The challenge becomes, you need a mailing address, because what they're going to do is they're going to send you, by mail, information that you may need. So that becomes the challenge. So ideally, you could do an Airbnb. You could do a site like morningcroissant.com. That's the one that I used. And Airbnbs are tricky because a lot of times they do not, unless you have a long-term rental, they don't want you with their mailing address. Now, the site that I used offers it as an option. So I made sure I picked a rental that has it as an option. So yeah, that's the main thing. And what you'll want to do is to go online and you'll create an online account and they will ask you for your address. So that's where it comes in, having an address. Another option may be to get a private mailbox. That's something that some people do as well. So just keep that in mind. Any other questions? Any other questions, you guys, that you guys have about the visa process, my life abroad? I don't know. Anything else you may want to know? Um, Significantly lower. Yeah, the copay is really low. Like everything here is just, yeah, everything is lower. And even the 100 euro that I paid for my English speaking physician, who was around the corner from me, which I overpaid, but she's around the corner from me literally. And I know that doctors are definitely lower, but it's kind of like I have to be able to understand what she's saying, right? What they are saying. So I have to just spring for an English physician for the most part. There are also other things you can do too here. There are pharmacies, like prescription renewal places out of countries like Eastern Europe. You can show them your prescription and you can get a renewal online. So really easy, like it's like 25 euro, not a lot. A discount on public transportation. See, I didn't know that because I have been paying this 89 euro every month. Okay, I need to do that. I need to check into that. Need to check into it. The one thing I will say I've been kind of cautious about though is that I want to be careful like with it because on one hand, I don't want them to know I'm unemployed because I don't want it to be any issue coming up with my visa. So I have to kind of weigh this out. I'm assuming they're going to take down information, all that good stuff. So yeah, I need to check into it. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm sorry, it's in Russian. Hello, welcome to the channel. Um, but yeah, so I have to be careful. I have to be a little bit careful with that because I do want the benefits of not paying for stuff. But at the same time, I don't want anyone looking over my visa application like, hold on, you said you were unemployed. I don't want extra questions. I don't want extra questions at all. I want them to just stamp my thing and just go ahead with it. So, yeah, I need to find out what the process is for that. Maybe one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing in terms of with the French government. So it may not be a worry, but I don't want it to be any problems when it comes to my visa application. My attorney just told me all they look at is how much you have going into your account, how much is coming into your account. He advised me to have a couple of he advised me to have my rent taken out of my French account. I'm a little hesitant on that because my rent comes out on using my Amex card, which I pay. Um, and yeah, and he mentioned a couple of bills, which I already have my Wi-Fi and my electricity come out. But he mentioned just making sure they want to see like a track record, right? I think I may have to make some steady deposits to my French bank account. I think it'll help because I did read in another forum, on a Facebook forum, that people, one person that I have talked to, she's an expat, like she gets her retirement money sent to her account, and that's great. Her U.S. retirement money. For me, it's like I have to do. I'm my money is coming USD, so I have to take a cash advance. I have to just it's a lot, and I can't use. I would have to see about Wise if I could maybe send money from my US bank account to my French bank account. I tried that at one time and it was problems. So I'm a little hesitant, but I do need to have a current, have an amount going in there. They want to make sure that that money is coming into the French economy. Make sure you get an Airbnb, yes, that you can cancel without penalty. It's just the Airbnbs are so expensive here. They really are. Um, okay, there are agencies. Yep. Okay. Great information. Thank you so much, Goddess. Great info. Great info to have. There, I mean, there is a way that people are doing it, and it usually depends on their specific situation, but you do have to have an address in terms of on that application. So, because they're going to want to, again, they're going to want to know where to send your certain information. Okay. The one thing you do get that first year is you're going to do a medical exam, and they generally send you that paperwork by mail. So, yeah, that first year you have to do a medical exam. It is you go to like I guess it's a government physician. They tell you where to go and when. They do a chest x-ray. They ask, are you on any, medications? The doctor looks at you, and he looks at that chest x-ray, and there you go. And that was it. At least that's what happened to me. The second arrondissement. Okay, listen, you know what? That's not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea at all. So what okay, wait a minute. But Goddess, what do you do? You where do you do the address at the second arrondissement? Is that what you're saying you do? For your residential address? Is that what you're saying? If you can just, yeah, let me know what you mean by that one. But yeah, what else? What else? But yeah, that's kind of what am I doing this week? Goodness, I just got back from Turkey. I had a great time. It was the vacation that I needed. I got back to Paris and the weather is finally starting to turn. Thank you, Jesus. Um, but it was like 98, like 90 degrees in Turkey. I needed another day or two. I needed a few extra days. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Goddess, yeah, because yeah, you're right. Since I have the visa that says that I'm unemployed and that I am not allowed to work. Yeah, so that's the thing. That's the gray line I don't want to get into because there is definitely a gray line. There's a gray area. And that's how my attorney explained it to me. Technically, by French law, the visa that I have is the carte séjour, right? I'm sorry, the titre séjour or something. And it technically I am not to be working. The gray area is that I am not to be working for a French employer. So that is how we've kind of navigated around that. And your I'm going on his advice, right? So the thing about it is your by the book people are going to tell you, oh no, you can't work, you can't work, you can't work. But the thing about it is that for my visa application, I submitted my resume. I submitted my work letter so they knew I was working, where I was working, paycheck stubs, W 2, all that good stuff. For my renewal, I have to submit not my paycheck stubs, but I have to submit my bank statements. They can clearly see that I have, that I'm working, but it's just not, again, not for a French employer. So I do not have the permission to work legally for a French employer. The thing is, what I was told, the legal advice that I got was that they don't care as long as an employer is not French. So as long as you are not taking away jobs from their French folks, they don't care. That's how they kind of look at it. It's been working for me so far. That's all I will say. Now, I know there are many people who disagree with that. I've seen them say, oh, no, you cannot work. Okay. All right. I only can say, well, it's been working for me and the advice of my attorney. I don't have, yeah, Goddess, I have a residential visa. I don't have a long-term visa. My goal is to get that 5-year visa. Yes, that is my goal. So I will apply for that when that time comes. Tanya, I had a great vacation. Thank you so much. I definitely want to try. I have a friend who was in the like it's called the Turkish Riviera, and it's like right off the water. It's beautiful. She had a great time. Like I saw her pictures and stuff. I want to visit there maybe when it's cold and miserable here. So that is my place to visit. Um, like a resort is like 30 euro. It's insane. She knows folks who have boats. A boat, you can rent a boat for 4 days for like 300 euro per person with 5 people. So yeah, that's cheaper than most hotels, or you can do the resort for 30 euro a day, So if you want to do the sailboat and if you want to have, the luxurious experience, you can do that. But yeah, the Turkish Riviera, check that out, you guys. That's something that, I mean, my friends' pictures are just awesome. We were in the same country, which is different ends of the country. So, um, absolutely, they do not hold pre-existing conditions against you, which is great, which is amazing, right? Amazing. Um, the French, the right to health care, right? It is thought of as a right, and that's how they kind of operate. So, you know, you being able to have healthcare that's not tied to your job. So, whether you have a job or not, you're able to have healthcare. Oh, is that what it is? Got us, because I wondered what it was. I was like, why do they want to do a chest X-ray? Are they checking for like a hole in my heart? Are they checking for, do I have a congenital defect? Like, what are they looking for? Making sure I don't have tuberculosis. I didn't even think about that. I guess because for us, TB is, I'm not going to say it's been eradicated, because some folks have not been taking their vaccination, so it has made a comeback. But I didn't realize that was what they were looking for. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Goddess, I see what you're saying now. You use an agency that it gives you a residential address in a wealthy neighborhood. Listen, you got to do what you got to do. Yes, that is the one thing I have determined. I've learned that this is a money game. From the attorneys to the fees, they're looking at you, us. It's a money game. They know that for most U.S. citizens, the amount of money that we make is well more than French people. And so if you're living here, you're paying into the system. You are renting, you're paying, you're eating, you're driving, you're taking the metro, doing activities. You are putting money into the economy. It is a money game. Immigration is a money game. So that is what my attorney was saying, why he was saying that I need to start having more money kind of flowing into that French account. So he was saying that like I should use that instead of my if I could, instead of my US bank account. It's just that it's inconvenient for me to do it, and it'll cost a lot, but I'm going to have more stuff coming out of my French account. But yeah, they want that money. They want that money shmoney. Money shmoney. So, yep. That is how the game works. It is how the game works. Any other questions? We've been talking for an hour, you guys. Any other questions that you guys have? Do me a favor, if for those of you who have not subscribed, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, right? That way you don't miss any of the updates. There are a few ways that you can also help me. Share this video. This will be ready as soon as I'm able to upload it. This video will be ready. So share this video, like it, comment in the chat. All of that stuff helps me. Also, what helps me is when you share this channel to people that you know who want to move abroad. That helps me as well. Also, if you would like to if you would like to support any information that I've given you, if it's been helpful, if you would like to support my efforts with getting Black women to move and travel and live abroad, I will have a link in the description of this video. You can you can make a donation to buymeacoffee.com. It is just a site. It is a site that I use and other creators use to help fund some of the things that we're doing. You can do that. But yeah, sharing this video, sharing this channel is one of the best ways. And goddess, yes, no French clients. That's a hard another one too, because I'd also looked into that, like getting a entrepreneur visa, and that's even more money, even more headache, and 50% taxes that you owe the French government, in addition to the U.S. Right? Because you need to declare your income. So yeah, so that was the thing. I worked for an international company. I worked for an international financial institution. So um, yeah, it is always something. You know what? I need to check into this because discounted travel, I'm all listen, all about it. All about it. All about the discounts. So I need to find out what's going on with that one for sure. But yeah, that visa, my visa came in handy. So when I went to Istanbul, like on the way there, like she coming into the country, I gave the customs agent my resident, my visa, this little, little card or whatever. And she looked at it, she was putting something in the computer, and then she was like, mm, do you have your passport? And I was like, okay. So I gave her the passport. I don't know. I wasn't supposed to be able to need my passport, but I'm trying to do whatever it is that she was asking me to do because I'm not saying whatever, but you get what I'm saying. Literally, I'm not going to have an argument with this woman. Is she is the one who decides if I come into the country or not. Listen, you know what? I was supposed to go to Marrakesh twice, did not get a chance to make it. I've heard it's really, really cheap. And it includes breakfast. Oh my goodness. The Riyadh. Listen, I have a credit right now through Turkish Airlines, and I need to go ahead and take that flight to Marrakesh because it's the flight is not bad, and it is a cheap trip, from what I've heard. $20, wow, including breakfast, and they fed you too. Oh my goodness, that's really cheap. I know that the times I have tried to make travel arrangements there, yeah, it has been really cheap. I don't know if it was $20, but it was definitely like cheap for 4 or 5 days, like under two. So Marrakesh, and where is the place that's near the water? It starts with an R. I can't think of it, but thank you, Goddess Belle de jour. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining and commenting. Appreciate the knowledge that you have shared with us. Thank you so much. Best of luck on your residency here in France. Thank you. Any other questions, you guys? What are the questions you guys have? Any other questions? If not, I'm going to call it a night on my end. I'm going to call it a night. Excuse me, call it a day, night. Um, any other questions you guys have? Yeah, looking for measles, smallpox. Yep, yep, yep. Thank you, Des. Thank you so much. You're so supportive. Thank you. Anything else, you guys? If not, thank you all so much for joining me. We'll do this thing all again, over again on Sundays. Let me know what topics you want to cover. If there are any particular topics you want to cover, let me know. I will upload this video shortly, and you again like, share, comment, subscribe if you are not already subscribed. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my evening. Have a lovely, lovely Sunday, and thank you all for joining. I will talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.